Crop circles is a weird one.
So weird.
It's a weird one because when I first saw them, I'm like, what is that? And then I saw that these guys were doing them with boards and string. I was like, oh, it's just people being silly.
It appeared overnight, etched with laser-like precision into a quiet wheat field. But this wasn't just another crop circle. Scientists worldwide are scrambling for answers as the pattern's geometry reveals impossible complexity. Some believe the pattern is quantum-encoded, its mathematical precision beyond anything we've seen before. Its proportions mirror post-quantum cryptographic keys, codes designed to outsmart even the most advanced computers. But if this isn't human, who or what left it? Is it a breakthrough we've yet to understand, or a warning we're not prepared for? One thing's certain, the world is watching. The discovery that shook the world, a massive crop circle, has appeared overnight in Wiltshire, UK, but this one is quite unlike the others. This wheat field has now become a topic for global concern. Its patterns are not just beautiful, many believe that they are encoded. The design is huge, spanning over 800 meters and containing multiple nested spirals. It even has fractal loops and what seems to be repeated banding structures that look like nothing we've ever seen before. A local drone operator was the first to record this strange event, which rapidly drew attention because of how complicated it was. Compared to standard false designs, high-resolution aerial photography shows its sharp edges and far more complex mathematical geometry. The structure looks like a multi-layered mandala with precise mathematical qualities. A network of smaller loops surrounds at least 4 concentric circles, all linked by fine radial lines stretching outward. Researchers even say that the smallest loops create known mathematical curves with incredible precision, and that the lengths between the rings follow a consistent ratio. This is very astounding, to say the least. But what makes this singular crop circle stand out from all the others? You know how, with quantum entanglement, 2 tiny particles stay connected, and whatever happens to one, the opposite happens to the other. Well, some parts of this crop circle actually look like mirror images, like they're perfectly matched. That's why some people think this isn't just some random design. They believe it's a hidden message or some kind of code left right there in the wheat. Researchers have started using advanced data analysis methods, such as binary rasterization, fractal modeling, and Fourier transformations, to try to figure out exactly what this pattern might mean. Could this be the first analog to quantum extraterrestrial communication ever discovered? Or something else entirely? How exactly are crop circles made? Before we get into the crazy tech and wild theories, let's back up a bit. What exactly are crop circles? Who's making them and why? Basically, crop circles are those weird patterns that just show up in fields. Some parts of the crops get flattened down, but the way it's done is so neat and perfect, it almost looks like a machine did it. The funny thing is, the plants are bent, not broken, so they usually keep growing like nothing happened. Now, some folks believe they are human-made, but others swear it's aliens, maybe even UFOs, leaving messages behind. Crop circles can be simple circles or more complex patterns. Southern England remains a hotspot for crop circle artists, with masterpieces incorporating triangles, spinner shapes, and crescents. They've also popped up elsewhere around the world, with one article in the Illinois newspaper Courier and Press calling them a plague in the state in the 1990s. Let's look into the mathematical and geometric details of crop circles and see what these complicated patterns might tell us about this strange event. One of the coolest things about crop circles is how often we keep seeing this thing called the notched spiral, and how it shows up in the most detailed crop circle designs all over the world. Basically, it's a spiral with evenly spaced little marks or notches, and weirdly enough, those notches often match up with math patterns and famous numbers. Back in 1991, there was a crop circle at Barbary Castle that took things to a whole new level. That design wasn't just random, it showed a crazy understanding of binary and trinary code. The notched spiral they used in that one was one of the first signs that these patterns might be way more advanced than people thought. This matches a pattern of similar features of recent, more modern crop circle patterns, and because of this, we now know what this signifies. In 2008, a crop circle showed up at Barbary Castle. That's one of those hotspots where these things always seem to appear, and this one was wild. It had the first 10 numbers of pi actually written inside a notched spiral. And the crazy part, it was insanely accurate. Then, in 2012, another design popped up in Slovakia called the Kosvasa formation. That one mixed precise math with ancient symbols, using notched spirals to show off sacred geometry. Now, nobody fully knows what these patterns mean, but seeing pi laid out perfectly like that in a wheat field, it makes you wonder, maybe this stuff isn't just a prank. And it's not just spirals. A lot of crop circles also have fractals, those trippy patterns that repeat themselves no matter how close or far you zoom in. These structures frequently mirror natural mathematical concepts, such as the Julia and Mandelbrot sets of fractals, which are mathematical formulas that produce intriguing recursive patterns. As such, they serve as an illustration of the kinds of universal patterns we might anticipate in higher intelligence communication. In 1992, the Mandelbrot set, a famous fractal pattern, was seen in a crop circle close to Alton Barnes. The crazy detail and perfect math in these designs make a lot of people question whether they're really just fakes. Take the one from 1996 near Stonehenge, for example. It showed a Julia set fractal, which is this super complex repeating pattern from fractal geometry. You'd need serious mathematical knowledge to pull off something that precise, especially overnight in the middle of a field. Crop circles frequently show us new ways of communicating complex geometric and mathematical ideas that challenge our knowledge and make us wonder about their actual meaning and origins. These patterns often follow established scientific constants and demonstrate sophisticated mathematical ideas. In 2010, a crop circle showed up near Wilton Windmill with something pretty mind-blowing hidden in the design, a notched binary disk that actually showed Euler's identity. Now, for anyone who doesn't remember math class, Euler's identity is this famous equation that connects some of the most important numbers in math: E, which is all about growth and decay; I, which is the square root of -1, P, pi, and the number 1. Mathematicians call it one of the most beautiful equations ever. So yeah, seeing that hidden perfectly in a field, that takes some serious knowledge. Crop circle designs also frequently show some elements of cymatics, the study of audible sound and vibration. These designs represent the natural geometries that arise from the interplay of physical medium with sound frequencies. These are yet another illustration of the universal patterns we may anticipate seeing as a form of contact with a higher intelligence, given the connection to acoustics, which we humans naturally link with communication. Beginning in 2001, several crop circles that showed what seemed to be similar thematic patterns to those created by vibrating plates or membranes started to occur. Natural geometric patterns found in a variety of physical and biological processes were reflected in these formations. Crop circles frequently mimic objective natural patterns like the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, and other naturally occurring geometric shapes. These patterns imply a close relationship between the basic ideas guiding natural events and the people who created crop circles. One of the most famous crop circles appeared in Chilbolton, England in 2001. And what's worse, it seemed to be a response to the Arecibo message sent into space in 1974. This particular crop circle suggested the existence of a higher intelligence capable of understanding and responding to human communication. Crop circles' mathematical and geometric complexity defies accepted theories and points to a higher degree of intelligence that may have contributed to their development. These designs, which range from fractals and notched spirals to somatic patterns, represent intricate ideas that frequently coincide with cutting-edge mathematical and scientific theories that point to a more intelligent origin. These patterns continue to enthrall and motivate experts, suggesting a deep relationship between crop circles and the basic rules of nature and mathematics, regardless of whether they are the creations of human artists or something more enigmatic. If they were all hoaxes, why do scientists still study some? Why do they show signs of advanced physics, math, and magnetism that wheat and barley shouldn't know about? How come there are suggestions that these crop circles may be quantum-encoded? How are these crop circles quantum-encoded? While many consider crop circles to have been created by extraterrestrials who yearn to subtly communicate with our species, others view them as an agricultural and technologically artistic phenomenon and believe the alien connection may be a hoax. But no matter which crop they're carved from, these intricate geometric patterns hold messages waiting to be decoded. Now, this isn't a hoax or some sci-fi jargon. When it comes to crop circles, there is a division between those who believe the patterns are man-made and those who believe they are the creation of aliens. According to the hoaxer's perspective, the locations where the crop circles are found are frequently tucked away in isolated, expansive tracts of land, making it quite simple to show up in the middle of the night with little to no warning. Those who think the rings were constructed by aliens state several ways and a variety of techniques with which they may have been produced, including lasers, sophisticated lightwave technology, spacecraft, and even mental energy. Studies have arisen in an attempt to decipher crop circles. These studies were directed by renowned molecular biologist Dr. Horace Drew of the California Institute of Technology. He discovered crop circles' patterns contain important messages from other species that needed to be decoded. Dr. Drew acknowledges that a lot of crop circles are man-made, but he also claims that alien-made ones have an advanced binary code, which may be used for simple greetings or to communicate with future civilizations. Messages like "Believe, there is good out there," "Beware the bearers of false gifts and broken promises," and "We oppose deception" are among the signals that Dr. Drew translated. These statements make us assume that alien communication is meant to help us live our best lives. But could that really be true? The design is too precise to be random, so the big question is this alien? Or is it man-made but way more advanced than we think? Those crazy fractal patterns definitely look planned, not random. And get this. Some scientists say the designs actually look like layouts used in quantum computers. Yeah, the super high-tech stuff most of us barely understand. Makes you wonder, are we just now rediscovering some lost science? Could this be breadcrumbs left behind by some ancient civilization? Of course, some people brush it off and say it's just a prank, but seriously, can a hoax really explain all that hidden quantum math showing up in the middle of a wheat field? More recently, quantum physicists have shown that the geometric patterning is connected by a broad spectrum of electromagnetic frequency fields that span from 260 MHz to 5.2 kHz. Using picture-to-sound mapping technology, researchers have discovered intriguing similarities between the Milk Hill crop circle and sounds from other planets, such as NASA's Cassini spacecraft's recordings of Saturn's auroras. But here's where it gets even crazier. At another crop circle site, researchers ran low-frequency tests using regular quantum radar equipment just to see how the area reacts. Turns out, the soil and the shape of the circle were bouncing back signals in ways that are just not expected in typical terrain. These strange results were verified by Harvard's top quantum photonics expert, Dr. Faye DeRico. According to her, that field is messing with electromagnetic waves in a way that doesn't follow the normal rules of physics. When they hit the formation with certain frequencies, the signals came back showing quantum coherence. Basically, the kind of reaction you only expect from advanced quantum tech. So, this isn't just a pretty pattern cut into the grass. It might actually be working like a real quantum device, hidden right there in the field. Here's where it gets even wilder. Neuroscientists ran tests and found that when people look at high-res images of these patterns, their brain activity starts syncing up in strange ways. Electroencephalogram, EEG, scans showed that over 60% of people had spikes in gamma brain waves. That's the same brainwave activity linked to deep thinking, lucid dreaming, and those moments when you feel super aware. It's like the pattern is designed to tap into how we see and process the world right at the core level. But that's not all. Cultural experts noticed the design lines up perfectly with sacred geometry and those ancient proportions we've seen in old civilizations for thousands of years. Almost like there's a hidden message in the math and the way it looks. Then archaeologists stepped in, mapped the formation, and boom! Turns out the layout of the crop circle lines up with ancient megalithic sites. We're talking about structures built 12,000 years ago. It's like whoever made this is following the same blueprint humans have been working with for ages. And get this, when they compared the crop circle to how the stars lined up thousands of years back, the key points in the design matched perfectly with certain star positions. So maybe this isn't random. Maybe it's part of a pattern that's been unfolding across history. The mathematical precision here recalls the structures our forefathers created to track the movements of Alestes. Could this demonstrate that the same cosmic coordinates are essential today as they were at the beginning of human civilization? We are witnessing the reactivation of an ancient global systems quantum language, which communicates using the planet as a coordinate system. 3 primary explanations regarding the origin of this extraordinary event have surfaced as scientists continue to analyze it. First, this might be a secure field test for satellite-based experimental communication systems, according to the post-quantum technology test theory. According to cybersecurity specialists, satellites and quantum keys are becoming more and more involved in current research on secure communications. Truly secure satellite systems are necessary for cybersecurity in the post-quantum era. Even now, recent studies on how satellite paths behave at the quantum level have been revealed to also match the historical timeline. For experiments of orbital communication, these formations could be acting like antennas or even passive reflectors to help with those experiments. The second notion suggests AI that can communicate on its own. Some believe an advanced AI, with access to satellite images and tons of environmental data, could have designed these patterns all on its own and somehow directed their creation, though no one's sure exactly how. Wouldn't be the first time AI did something humans couldn't immediately explain. And as AI gets smarter, how it communicates might completely change in ways we don't even understand yet. But the wildest, most controversial theory, it's that this is not human at all. Some say the math, geometry, coding, and strange electromagnetic readings hint at a higher intelligence, maybe something using Earth itself as a giant chalkboard to send messages across different species. The idea is that math is the only truly universal language, so maybe these designs are an attempt to communicate, not just with us, but with any form of intelligence out there. And now for the real plot twist. Cryptologists studying the pattern recently found something insane. Hidden in the outer ring of one crop circle was a 256-bit elliptical curve quantum tag. Basically, a super advanced digital signature that looks just like the kind of code we expect in post-quantum blockchains. Tech that, according to MIT researchers in 2023, shouldn't even exist yet in the real world. But here's where it gets crazier. When they cracked that code, they found a timestamp pointing back to 1982, to a Soviet weather balloon mission. Now, here's the weird part. 982 is when quantum computing as we know it was barely an idea, and the Soviet Union didn't have any known quantum tech programs at the time. So how did a crop circle in 2023 carry coding tied to an event from 1982, using technology we're only just figuring out now? It's got people asking, are we looking at a message that's been coming together over decades? Or are we dealing with something completely beyond how we understand progress and technology? Maybe. This is proof that someone, or something, has been trying to talk to us for a lot longer than we thought. After weeks of digging into this, a team of mathematicians and quantum physicists came up with a theory that completely flips how we look at these crop circles. What if it's not even a message? What if it's actually the blueprint for a quantum processor mapped right onto the Earth? Turns out the pattern lines up almost perfectly with something called braid theory, a structure used in quantum computing. More specifically, it matches a type of advanced quantum system called topological quantum computing. That's where quantum information gets stored and moved around by arranging particles in certain ways, using what's known as non-abelian anyons, basically weird particles that only exist under crazy conditions. Dr. Emily Carter, one of the top minds in quantum research, says this crop circle looks almost identical to a quantum circuit diagram, but stretched out over an entire field. Those looping, repeating shapes. They look a lot like fractal algorithms used in data compression, but when you break it down, there's clear intentional coding built into the design. The idea is, if this isn't a message but an actual working structure in physical space, it might explain the weird electromagnetic readings and the ground acting funny. The whole thing could be a functioning quantum circuit, with the Earth itself being used as the hardware, like the world's biggest computer chip. And here's the crazy part. This lines up with real research happening right now at places like Microsoft, where scientists are building next-gen quantum computers using similar topological setups. If that's what's going on here, it could mean we just stumbled onto a whole new way to store quantum information in the real world, something researchers have only dreamed about up until now. This could be the first real example of a working quantum interface, sitting right there in a field. These crop circle formations are more than just beautiful patterns. They are a gateway into a world of advanced mathematics, ancient civilization, and universal principles. Whether they are messages from an advanced civilization or complex works of art, one thing is clear. They continue to challenge us to discover the truth. What do you think these mathematical and geometric patterns signify? Are they just coincidences, works of art by humans, or do they point to something even bigger? Let us know in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, click on the next one on your screen.